Good evening, sweethearts. Tonight we're gonna walk the path of mystique and intrigue and witchcraft. This is a topic I'm very interested in myself, and I wanted to do something like this for a long time. Now, in celebration of Spooky Month 2022, I decided to make my witch video about that, so get into your bed and be ready to get your future handed to you. Remember to use headphones for the best listening experience. Hmm. My. Well, well, well. What do we have here? Hmm. A little darling in need of spiritual guidance. Come on in, little sweetheart. Don't be shy. I can help you. Guaranteed. Come. Have a sit here in front of me and tell me what ails your little heart. Oh, this is the first time you're meeting a witch. Are you some sort of a skeptic? Yeah, I see. Right, so what you're saying is that you don't actually believe in witches and magic, but you're so desperate to escape the drudgery of your everyday sadness that you've sought out alternate medicine. Is that correct? What's that? You really think I'm a hoax? A snake oil salesman? Just here to take your money and just because you're desperate? Darling, this isn't some multi-level marketing scam. I won't send you off with a box of ointments you have to apply to your temples and at full moon while convincing all of your friends and family to do the same and make me rich. Sweetheart, I am a bona fide witch. I have everything the heart can desire. I have lived the time span of several human lives already. No. What I desire is something completely different than money. And to prove it, I will help you completely free of charge. Not a single coin will swap hands today, darling. However, there is one itty-bitty tiny little thing that you can do for me. Let's call it a sort of favor. Don't worry your little head about it too much now. I'll collect my price when the time is right. Deal? Excellent. But now, before we begin any of my readings, well, first of all, I need to get ready. We're gonna work with cards today. However, before we get started, since you are such a clever little boy, I'm gonna educate it a bit on how this all works. You know, if you come in here with a closed mind, you will most likely leave in the same state as when you arrived. Is that what you really wish? To waste your time with this boring old witch? Just to go home? No changes in your life? Go home and live in that dreary sadness and overwhelming sorrow? No, of course not. Right? Then listen very carefully, because I am your solution to find the path to happiness and joy. I know you're a skeptic. Look, let me educate you a bit about the troubles of the modern mind and the fallacy of personal incredulity. But first, I would like to understand your mindset a little bit as well, and gain some insight into the birth of your skepticism. So tell me, darling, what do you think a witch really does? And what do you think a tarot card reading really is? Yes. Magic frogs? Turning people rich? Is that what you want? Making grubs crow and conjuring rain out of nothing? My little darling, well, I understand where your misconceptions come from, but I guarantee you that real witchcraft is something completely different. I claim not the supernatural to be in my grasp, nor do I manipulate the elements of our universe to my will. I mean, I would love to. Can you imagine the power? But no. So, what is it really then? Well, to put it simply, if it can be put simply, witchcraft is many things, but one way of looking at it is as a series of tools sought to grapple with instability. It's also a way of accessing the subconscious mind. Did you know that the subconscious mind takes up the vast majority of your brain power? It handles everything you need to function, such as eating, digesting, breathing, and creating memories. It's a very little interesting thing, your subconscious. By accessing it, and we can become happier and more wise. We can lower mortality rates. We can make money. We can even find love. That seems like some of the things that you are searching for. Am I right? In short, accessing your subconscious mind can improve your life. It isn't just happiness we are concerned with, because the subconscious mind is also the cause for failure, frustration, unhappiness. However, habitual thinking can be shaped into being harmonious and constructive, thus leading to better health and more success. it worked for me. So, this isn't just witchcraft or, divine science. Natural sciences too use it. For example, placebo medication is used in experiments to test neurological scientific methods. A large field of neuroscience, in fact, uses placebo medication. In other medical fields like physiotherapy, pain is proved to not just be, in your back. It's in your mind. In your subconscious mind, that is. Many studies over decades have shown that chronic pain, in most cases, need to be treated both physically, of course, but also mentally to be truly healed. In emergency rooms, among other places, they use the term psychological first aid. It's an evidence-informed approach to reduce initial distress caused by traumatic events such as being in an accident. All of these items are evidence-based, natural sciences. You do strike me as a person of logic. No time for the paranormal, right? You're right. I don't believe in ghosts either. I am, in fact, an optimistic nihilist. I think we are born, and then we die. And we are nothing on either side of those two events. It's quite freeing, but that's a topic for another day, don't you think? Now, to get back to what really matters, let's have a look at what you just learned and put that into the context of witchcraft. If pain is a state in your brain, as proved by natural sciences, and it's something we can deal with through the subconscious, then what else can we access and manipulate? I believe that witchcraft is a lifestyle and a way of thinking. Now, my little darling, I want to tell you that many think I can simply come in and reshape their destiny. But that's not really what tarot cards are all about. They're not even really meant to tell your fortune or your future. No, the most powerful sources of information comes from within. The tarot aids us in coming in contact with our subconscious mind. I can't make you happy. Only you yourself have that power. Tarot is not intended to answer specific yes or no questions, nor is it used to make decisions, but instead, you should use it as a guide to help you make a decision yourself. I won't draw a card today that will tell you how your future is gonna unfold. But if you choose to believe what I am telling you, and you can open your mind, maybe even reprogram your mind to believe that your path forward is clear, you can focus on the things that matter and make all your wishes come true. After all, the only one holding you back is yourself. So, what do you say? Is it time to believe a little? Good. Now, your specific question was regarding unhappiness. I think we should look a little bit on your past. What have you gone through to get here? And where you are currently, and then what can you do to move on? Do you agree? I have a special 5-card reading that we can do. It doesn't take that long, and if you think it's hogwash, you didn't waste too much time. Although I'm sure you won't. All I ask is that you open your mind and let the cards guide you. Okay? Right. So, let me just find my cards and shuffle them, and then we can proceed. Alright, here we go. Now, you might wonder how I got into this business of witchcraft. And it's very simple. I was born into it. Would I believe in it if I wasn't? I don't know the mortal mind that much. But all I can say is it worked for me, and I haven't had one unhappy customer yet. So, here we are. I'm gonna pick 5 cards for this reading. I'm gonna draw them from the top, flip them over, and tell you what it represents. And then you should think about how this is important for your future. Okay? The first card. The Lady Justice. This card represents your obstacles. The second card is the Nine of Swords. This card represents your answers. The third card is the Three of Wands. This card represents changes. The fourth card is, the Handsome Knight of Swords. This card represents opportunities. And the fifth and final card is the Fool. Don't worry, it doesn't mean what you think. This card represents transformation. Overall, when I look at this suite we drew, there is a predominance of the suit of Major Arcana. This indicates that this reading will indicate it's not much about the problems of everyday life, but more about the issues of fundamental importance to you. There's a theme of justice and truth with the cards, with the Justice card and Knight of Swords. There's also a theme of new beginnings with the cards of Three of Wands and the Fool. So, let's go through your cards one by one. First of all, obstacles, represented by justice. What issues are holding me back from the happiness that I deserve, you may ask? Well, the card suggests that you may have been the victim of an unjust situation in the past. It could be that you did not receive recompense for a wrong that was committed against you. However, it may be you who's being held to account for something you have done. The slate needs to be set clean before you can move on without guilt or recrimination. And this can sometimes be hard to do if, for instance, you or the other person finds it hard to apologize. However, the rewards far outweigh any temporary discomfort or bruised egos. Now, the second card represents answers. What can I do to undo what is making me unhappy? This is represented by the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords in this specific position as the second card advises you to calm your worries and keep them within you. Keep them within your control as much as possible. This doesn't mean putting them in the back of your consciousness and pretending they're not there, but listen, hearing, understand, and learn to transform them. This may involve talking to someone about your concerns, or perhaps just learning some techniques for dealing with them in a healthier way. Examples can be intrusive thoughts where you let them enter your mind, acknowledge their presence, and send them on their merry way. Remember that there usually isn't the need to put as much energy into our worrying as we do, and all the fretting and worrying in the world, it doesn't change our situation. Don't think about hypothetical outcomes to hypothetical scenarios that may or may not happen. Instead, think about focusing all your anxious energy into doing something about your worries instead of perpetuating downward spirals. You may be surprised at how little energy it takes to change your circumstances and thus break the cycle. Any future obstacles you face can then be faced with a far more practical and composed approach, as you realize that your attitudes to your problems are making you feel worse than you need to. Remember that reality is rarely as frightening as we make it out to be. And neither am I. Now, for the next card, the third card. It represents changes, and it is the Three of Wands. Where should I look in my life to make these changes? So, receiving the Three of Wands in the third position suggests that you're being faced with an important and bold decision at this time. You may be needing to take a step back in order to contemplate the situation and the best way of moving forward. But realize you will eventually need to take a leap of faith, which may or may not be comfortable, and you might be afraid to make it. You should remember, though, that courage indicates success in terms of strength of character, whether your action achieves the desired result or not. The fourth card represents newer opportunities, and it's framed as the Knight of Swords. What opportunities for happiness are coming my way? The Knight of Swords in this position indicates that you will be able to transform negative emotions and feel more in control in the near future. As a result, you should be able to harness your frustrations and Allow them to improve your life rather than drag you down. In order to achieve this, you may need to adopt a more adult attitude. Maintaining inner strength and calm is the key in the face of adversity. You will also need to take responsibility for the things you can change and accept the things you can't. This may not seem easy at first, but it will help you feel more in control and put you in a better state in future to tackle problems that will occur in your life. Let's see. The fifth and final card. The Fool. The Fool represents transformation. In what way will I find happiness? The Fool signals that you could experience a new beginning or a change of direction after following this advice. The Fool represents change, and this may lead you onto a path of adventure, wonder, and personal growth. And this card reminds you to keep your faith and trust your natural responses on this new path. If you're facing a decision or a moment of doubt, the Fool reminds you to believe in yourself and follow your heart. Remember, though, to balance any impetuousness with consideration in order to keep any foolishness in check. And there we have it. I want you to keep these cards. Come back to them when you need guidance in the near future. It's a gift. As you can see, your path forward isn't as straightforward as you would have liked. Probably. But I did tell you, I can't shape your path for you. Only you yourself have that power. What did you expect? Are you starting to believe? Did you want me to enchant your mind into a state of happiness? No. I already told you, darling, didn't I? There is no such thing as real magic.